I'm making a game inspired by Kirby's Dream Course, Marble Madness, and Golf with Your Friends. Welcome to Devlog 3. So the task I set out to do after the second devlog was to add multiplayer to the game. I mean, who doesn't love a little multiplayer addition, right? So back in the ancient times of the 90s, multiplayer games meant playing with your friends at home, either with split screen or by connecting multiple devices like Game Boys. And nowadays there are not many games that have this sort of multiplayer anymore. With some exceptions of course, but most games are only online multiplayer. I want to bring back those good old days. In this game, there are two multiplayer modes. There is story mode and battle mode. Let's start with co-op mode, because there is already a single player mode, so it's going to be easy. All I have to do is add another player and change their controls. So the goal of my game is to collect every target in the level. Then you go into the hole. That's the basic mechanics of the game. So what should happen if there were multiple players? Everyone will be able to get the targets and only one person needs to get into the hole. After I added the second player, I went to my sister and asked her to playtest with me. And of course, we found a bug. I didn't find many bugs during that playtest, thankfully. But this one bug still confuses me. There was this bug where you get soft locked if you collide. How or when this happens, I still haven't figured that out yet. But it seems that it happens when a player comes back from being out of bounds and hits a ball. I kept trying to recreate this bug, but it doesn't always happen. This bug only appeared twice in my lifetime of developing this game, and it's still haunting me to this day. Anyway, another problem appeared when testing. It's not a bug this time. So you know when I said you have to get all targets before going to the hole? Well, some of those targets, called super targets, give power-ups to whoever hit it first. However, some levels will require that you beat certain obstacles with these power-ups. Obstacles like this gap. You cannot reach the other side without using the jump power-up. But only one player got it, and the second player can't do anything to help. I have to solve this problem, so here are some suggestions. If one player gets the super target, all players will get the same power-up. The problem with this one is that the later levels will have multiple different super targets. This could mess up a lot of trick shots when playing multiplayer. Like imagine getting the jump ability and suddenly you get something else when you are about to jump. So this will not work out. How about another solution? Change the entire level to suit the two players. I very much don't really like this solution, and even if I did, it's still not a good solution. Because everyone must get it right, or else the player who is bad at the game will be a liability to other players. How about I make each player having no connection to any other players? What I mean is basically make a single player but for multiple people at the same time. This is probably the worst idea yet. What's even the point of multiplayer then? I kept thinking for some other solutions for about a day, until I came up with something. You probably guessed it, but you see those stars? They come as soon as you destroy the targets. So what if I just make that star give whoever touches it the same power-up? Now everyone can get the same power-up just like the first player who got it. Next up, I began working on battle mode. I'm really excited for this. I took the battle mode concept from Kirby's Dream Course 2 player mode, which is basically whoever gets more stars by the end of the match wins. The match ends when someone gets to the hole. I'm really taking a lot of ideas from Kirby, but I can't really think of anything better to be honest. Besides, there aren't many games like this, so... Anyway, I started designing the new levels for the battle mode. I also took into consideration that new players would start at the battle mode instead of story mode, so I added instructions for new players. The first 3 levels are fairly easy. They teach you how to aim, how to tee-shot, and how to use super targets. But wouldn't it be cool if I added an item that gives you random power-ups? So here I am, introducing the random fridge. It either gives you a random power-up, or it removes your current power-up. So it's not always a good item, but that's not all that it does. There is also a random chance that it will cause an arena hazard. There are 5 of them, so here I will explain them all briefly. First, invisible arena. Makes the entire ground invisible, but not objects or bumpers. They're still there. Second, slow-mo reality. Time gets slower, so everything gets slower, from all objects to the music and sound effects. Third, the floor is spike. A random number of spikes appear in random locations. Getting impaled will launch your ball upwards. Fourth, nothing personal. The player who took the fridge will swap with another random player instantly. Can be very annoying, but I'm keeping it. And finally, mini bomb. The fridge explodes and blows away all nearby balls. This should make the battle mode more chaotic. I love seeing random stuff coming up when playing competitive games because it screws over players. So after I finished, I asked my little brother this time to playtest. Unfortunately, I didn't record this time, but when we finished, I only found 14 bugs and they took me 12 days to fix. Then I added some other necessary stuff like the final results, auto balance, which is handicap the better players, view leaderboard during gameplay, and some other stuff. I also added some configurations for battle mode, for people who want to play in a certain way, like taking turns instead of playing simultaneously, or disable super targets altogether. Next thing on my list is to write an actual story in story mode, as well as adding secrets to the game, because I love secrets, and so does everyone. Be sure to subscribe, as this will be the topic of the next video. Yup, that's about it. See ya.